Your question, can you talk about the best, can you talk about to use the deck online? We've created a little mini course, so an online course, same as the one you're going through now, but just really focused, and it's even shorter. It's about 60 minutes. It'll take you to go through it, of me taking teams through or people through how to run those workshops and the 4 different ways to use it online. So
Part of our training now?
No, so what you're doing now is the masterclass, so just the foundational training to try to start your journey to mastering the game. That course is specifically how to run remote team workshops using that PDF that you've seen.
Okay, awesome.
That will be really, really beneficial to you, because I actually will talk you through 4 different ways to use it with remote teams based on the PDF that you've downloaded.
Yep.
And a whole bunch of tips and tricks, because at the start of lockdown here for us in New Zealand, we had a lot of clients that said, well, we still want to, which was surprising. They said, for me anyway, they still want to run the workshops. And I quickly had to take some ideas from the rest of our community and about how to adapt it to that remote team session using that general structure you've seen, which I showed at the start and you've seen on the PDF.
Yeah. Cool.
So definitely that will give you, you'll have so many ideas. If you've already got ideas, I imagine, but you'll have so many more ideas about how to adapt everything you're learning now into a remote team environment. Yeah. And that was actually created by a company in Amsterdam. They went through the same thing at lockdown. They said, well, we've been running face-to-face workshops. We can't run them anymore. And they went, why don't we put all the cards on a screen? I was like, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work or not, because the cards are so important. And because that's the only way I'd done it. And I found myself really guarded and closed-minded to it, even when they showed it to me. And then I'm the first one to admit that sometimes it takes me a while to change my beliefs and move out of old habits, right? And then she shared more stories about how they were using it. And then I was forced to then use it because of where we got to in lockdown as well here in New Zealand. And I was blown away by the simplicity and how it works. The key thing with remote teams workshops is, Francisco, you showed us with your Post-it note, is that still get people to write their emotion or feeling on a Post-it note. You can see that says free. Because one of the most powerful things in this game, which you'll learn in the course, so if you haven't got to the stage, I'm spoiling it for you, but is this notion of a 3-point conversation and the transference. So I'm transferring my feeling or emotion onto this card, and it makes it easier and more accessible to talk about. And in a remote team environment, when you're just looking at the screen, we don't have that. And so I always tell people when they are picking the card to write it on a Post-it note so you can hold it up, and that acts as the physical card. So we still recreate that transference and that 3rd point. So that's the small but crucial part for when you do these sessions remotely, is to still write them down. It could be on a piece of paper. Post-it notes work if you've got them because they're small and concise and easy to hold up. But wherever it is, the act of writing it down is really important to still try to recreate the card aspect. Yeah. But I take people through how to run the weekly retro in a remote environment. I take you through how to run the self-awareness piece. I also take you through how to run the change leadership workshop in a remote team environment, which is a really powerful one. And then I talk about how I've broken down remote workshops, because in a normal workshop, you might do 4 hours face-to-face, but personally, when I've run it, it's an absolute nightmare to spend 4 hours in front of a Zoom call. Like it's just the most soul-destroying thing of all time and energy sapping. And so I've ended up breaking our sessions up into 1-hour sessions. It creates more moments of conversation. It gives people moments to reflect on in between sessions. It's easy to find 45 minutes or an hour out of people's day if you do it once a week, rather than trying to sometimes chunk out 4 hours or 5 hours or even a full day if people are doing that. And I learned the hard way when I ran some sessions early on where I was trying to do too much in each session. And in the remote world, I've found the simpler you make it, the more engaging it is. So I've gone through all these difficult things that I share with you and through those videos, which will help you, Rachel or Kaylee, if you're doing that, so you can learn from my mistakes. Yeah.